it's Carolyn and Michelle, aka LA Triathlete and Fuel My Run, and we're going off course.
Hello. There she is. Did we just harmonize?
We did. Oh my God. Guys, this is a podcast now. It's an ultra running podcast.
And a gym podcast.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. With what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot it from the last
Bryson.
episode. Bryson. Oh my God, how could I forget? I still haven't canceled, by the way.
Which we should probably start off with that real fast.
Yeah, we should.
So shout out goes to Haley. This is the craziest story.
Different Haley, right?
Different Haley.
Different Haley. Not
But
our usual
Haley
Haley,
nonetheless.
Yeah.
Different Haley. Yeah. Not
We
the,
vibe with the
but this
Haleys.
is another shout out Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Haley, this is a Haley podcast. So we got a DM from Haley and she's like, oh my God, you know, you talking with Carolyn about having to cancel her gym membership reminded me that I needed to cancel mine. And in the last episode, we had this long story. I was reminiscing on when I went with my ex-boyfriend to cancel his gym membership. And they're like, oh, let me go get Bryson. Like, Bryson needs to be involved. And then the whole episode was about Bryson. So, yeah, Haley gets to the gym and asks to cancel her gym membership. And the girl goes, let me go get Bryson. I shit you not.
It's insane. Like,
They're all named Bryson.
they're all named Bryson. Legally. Like, when / if I actually cancel mine, I will. Like, I'm literally, like I said in the last episode, I'm going to walk in confidently. Bryson, is he here? And they'll be like, oh,
Can
shit.
you do it and we record it?
Oh my God, that'd be so funny.
Can you
No,
save
I don't have
it?
the confidence for that.
Save it for when I'm there. Save
Yeah.
it for when I'm there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I'll
will
just pay
record it.
$50
You just have to
a
go
month.
with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence. Gym people scare me.
I walk into a gym and my confidence goes down like 10 levels. Doesn't
I get
matter.
so self-conscious. Yeah. Well, not.
And you
I
were
told
a gym
you though.
girly because of swimming.
I know.
You had to be.
I told you though that new gym that I'm gonna. Well, I've literally gone to once, but like that was because of
non-stinky
tapering.
one.
The non-stinky one, woman owned, and I'm like, it's just like I had a really stupid question, and so the girl who was working that day, I didn't know her. She was like, there are no stupid questions, and she made me feel so good, and I was like, thank you so much. But at LA
There
Fitness,
are no stupid questions. I love
someone would
that.
have punched me in the face. I would have been like, can you help me figure this out? And they would have been bam, right to the fucking mouth, right to the gullet.
Right to the chomper.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Hilarious. How are you, my Iron Man?
Oh my God, I'm so good. I'm tired. Less tired today, and I'm kind of sore, but like actually feel all right, honestly.
No way.
Back's tight.
You look fresh.
Thank you so much. I feel really good. I took a shower.
That helps.
That helps. I tend to do that every day, but I showered obviously after the race Saturday, and then like, obviously like showered hard, right? Because you fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Chafed so bad in so many places.
Scrape the salt off. Okay.
Scraped it
We'll
off.
have to get
we'll
into
talk
that.
about the chafing. My God.
Okay.
And then
obviously.
I like let my hair air dry because it's so fucking dry in Utah, and my hair looks so ugly but I was like, who am I gonna see? And then yesterday morning before we left, I body showered, but I was like, I'm not gonna wash my hair. Like, we're just going home in the car.
No,
My
like,
hair
at what
was
cost?
So greasy by last night. I looked disgusting, and I don't understand how people cannot wash their hair every day. I don't know. I feel like it smelled, and it was just like wet with grease. And I was like, I literally
Maybe
can
you didn't
never
get
be
all
me.
the salt out the first time.
Maybe that's true. But I was just like, I don't know how people don't wash their hair every day, but like people do it and their hair looks really good. And I was like, the hair's too thin for that shit. It was disgusting. But I washed it this morning and I was like, oh, new
Fresh.
woman.
Yeah, it looks
how-
fresh right now.
Thank you.
That is funny. I
It's the
feel like
extra
we did
grease,
talk
yeah.
about how like, okay, I'm going to have to put this ball away, but how many times do we wash it? I feel like, okay, my hair looks so bad right now, so maybe don't take my judgment, but like some days I'll just do water and conditioner and not shampoo. So like maybe
that
3-4
makes
times a
sense.
week I do it.
Right. Yeah. And I think maybe if I'd rinsed it, it would have been, but then I was like, I don't want to like have wet hair. And then it just like, I don't want to dry it. And I just didn't. Probably we could have used dry shampoo, but I didn't. Just disgusting. So I feel fresh.
Too many steps. She's fresh. You
fresh.
said your back is sore?
Yeah, my back really hurts. This kind of is par for the course. It's just sore. It's not
okay.
like injured.
Okay, golf.
I know, right? Who is she?
It's a golf podcast.
Par?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, legs a little tight, but I don't know. I feel okay. I feel like puffy though. Like, we all feel that way, like bloated after a race. And then I feel like my eyes feel swollen, which they were yesterday. And I think it's because the sheer volume of sodium, Michelle. We can get into it though.
Like your eyes have like a little bloat to them.
Yeah.
Like fat lids.
Like when you cry a lot.
Okay, so we got fat lids in the mix. Where should we start? Should we start from the drive?
Yeah, we'll start. So drove up Thursday, kind of uneventful, and we filled up gas. Like I filled up the gas like in LA. And then I was like, well, we'll fill up the gas and then we'll probably need to stop one more time to pee. And then, you start driving and we switched. So Jordan drove the first like trafficy part in LA because he gets car sick. But then once we're on the highway, he's okay. And so I was like, I'll drive like the next section. And then once you get in, like you go through Nevada and then you have to go through this little weird section of Arizona and then Utah. And at that one section, you go through this crazy canyon. It's so pretty, but it's windy as fuck.
You go through that many states?
Yeah, like 4. It's crazy. But you're only in Arizona for like 10 seconds.
Hot minute. Okay.
Hot minute. Apparently there's a lot of like polygamist Mormon cults in this section of the, I don't know. Jordan was confusing me. He's like, there's this triangle where there's all these like polygamist cults. But I tried to find one. We tried to find one. I mean, there were little like houses off the freeway, but anyway. But we didn't switch because I was like locked in to this drive and we were going like, so I was like, we are going to get there. So we cut like 20 minutes off the ETA. And when you like work so hard
going 95,
maybe 100. I don't know. Didn't look. But when you like pass people on the highway, you like work so hard. It's like a 2-lane highway the whole way. So you're like passing all these fucking trucks. And then you're like, I can't pull
like you have to go in
gas.
the lane where like you have to go around them and it's like super scary, or like a 4-lane.
No, it's like 2-lane, just like 1, 2.
Oh, so it's like super sketchy to pass.
4 each way. Or
What
2
do you,
each
how do you
way.
say that? Is it 2 or 4?
It's just like a 2-lane, like 2 lanes going this way north and then 2 lanes
Isn't
going
that called
south.
a 4-way? Doesn't matter. These are
Doesn't
small
matter.
details.
But
you're
it's like-
working so hard to pass. Continue.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
So you're like working so hard to pass people and then you're like, I don't want to pull off because then I have to pass you again. And I just like put all this work in, too competitive.
Yeah.
So we get there so fast,
same
had
people.
to pee so bad. We were almost out of gas, but we made it. Got some Jimmy John's. I just wanted Jimmy John's. Went to the Airbnb.
Dude.
What?
Jimmy John's like race week hits so different.
It hits so different. I just like woke up craving
always crave
it so
it too.
bad. And like they have those big pickles and I was like, pickles are perfect right now. I need the sodium. So good. So good.
But I'm surprised you like the vinegar.
Oh yeah. No, I love pickles. That's true. I don't hate salt and vinegar chips.
I don't like salt and vinegar chips.
They're kind of spicy for me. A little exotic.
Anyway. So you're at the Airbnb.
So yeah, the Airbnb was super nice because last year we stayed by ourselves and I didn't like know where to stay because it was my first time doing this race and I just like it was fine. Like it was just really small. It was like a guest house of someone's house and it had like no kitchen. It was just like a tiny little room. And then like you're kind of like not far, but kind of far from the race. And then this time I stayed with Becca, who's done this race like 100 times. And so she knows everything. And so the place we were staying was literally on the bike course, which was so nice. Like we were like, so, and then it was
What
like
mile?
25. I know.
Oh my
that
God.
'cause
Did Jordan see you at 25?
He did. Because I had to tell him like what time to be there because he didn't have to go to the swim start, which he was happy about. Because I was like, oh, I can just go with Becca and Mitch. Because he can't see me swimming anyway. And I'm like, there's no sense of you waking up early and like coming to the swim start. I'm like, you can just like sleep in a little bit and then see me on the bike and then come to the end, which he did.
Catch me on the bike. Love.
Catch me on the bike. But the Airbnb was super nice. It was huge because like we were splitting it with them. So I was like, wow, bougie, Utah.
Love that.
And then, yeah, Friday was a long day. That day before a race, man, always a lot. Just a lot to do.
You were walking all day long.
I got a lot of steps in. I was like, this is
You
probably
got
not
over
good.
10K.
I did. I got 12. 12K. It's okay, though.
12K steps.
Yeah, that's a little.
Just kidding.
Everyone's like, get off your legs, get out of the heat. And I was like, well, like, I literally can't. Like, I have stuff to do. So we did a shakeout ride, which was nice because we were literally on the bike course. So just like a little, like super easy, like hour, and then came back and then got ready for the shakeout run, which I hosted, and we had
hour. You say that so casually.
Oh,
I'm
it was easy. It was super slow. I know an hour's
what
kind
like
of long,
miles
though.
per hour do you do in a shakeout bike?
It was probably like 15 miles an hour, and it's like it was chill.
Oh, that's
chill.
me pushing. 15 miles per hour. I'm zone 5.
Zone 5. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
I
We'll
think
get you on
so
a bike.
with my Peloton days. Which, just to add real fast, since there's a lot of new listeners, this is Michelle speaking. Obviously, I am not a triathlete. I'm a runner.
Mhm.
I call cycling biking. I had a
Embarrassing.
bike for a hot minute, a specialized bike for
Oh,
like
yes.
10 minutes.
Yes.
And I don't kick turn. I push off the wall and stop. So
When you're
that's
swimming.
just a little bit about me.
Yeah.
Well, when I, yeah.
She gives me the ick because she doesn't know how to flip turn. I'm just kidding. I've never seen Michelle swim.
Well, actually, technically, I do know how to flip turn, but I would give you
Yeah.
the ick, and the podcast may end there. So
That's true. Well, we
maybe
just
we'll
won't
do a
swim
video on you
together.
helping me with my kick turn.
That would be kind of fun. Flip turn. Kickstand is maybe you're
Kickstand?
confused. That's on a bike.
Oh, the
Maybe you're-
bike. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
It's okay.
And then flip turn pull. Anyways. Okay. So.
Oh yeah. Shakeout run.
You did an hour. Yeah. Shakeout run now. Okay.
That was like 2 miles, super chill. We had Becca and I hosted a group run, but Paula Finley, who's like, she won the whole race. She's like,
Did she
literally,
win?
she won. She's.
I was only
fucking
looking at
beast.
your stats.
She's so cool. Okay. She's got a podcast too. And she's like obviously like the most famous, right? And so I guess I didn't know this, but this guy Nick, that he's also on the podcast, but I'm like friends with him, and so is Becca. He's like, he didn't come to our shakeout run. He's like, oh well, like that Triathlon Life, which is the name of their podcast. He's like, they're hosting a shakeout run too. And I was like, oh, we have a competing shakeout run. And so I think we had like, I'm sure they had like 100 people, right? But we had like, I think like 20, 25. And I was just like, we should tell them.
That's a good number.
We should tell Nick that we had like 200. Be like, yeah, we actually sniped a bunch of people from your shakeout run. But
Do it like, you know, when there's like you did the prices, right? And they make the audience like a lot bigger with the camera.
Oh, yeah.
angles.
yeah,
Like take it so there's like little like heads in the back
like
everywhere.
cut people off to make it look like we just couldn't fit everyone in the camera. But I was pretty
Exactly.
happy. I'm like 25
No.
people is like crazy.
That's
like, that
super
is-
cool.
It was
And you
so
can talk to
cool.
everyone.
Exactly. I was talking. Yeah, hopefully I talked to everyone. I was trying to. It was harder to talk on the run when we were running, but then afterwards we got coffee and then met a friend of the pod. So shout out. So everyone there generally was like, just like follows me on Instagram and like that's where I posted about it and everything. But then, so Michelle and I, we talk about this a lot. Like we know how many people follow us on Instagram, and I'm like, you know, you just look at your Instagram, you see your number of followers, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. For podcasts, although we haven't really dove that far into the analytics, so I'm sure we can figure it out. But it's like,
We need to dive in.
can we see how many subscribers we have? We probably can, right? Can we?
I think you make assumptions based on downloads.
That's stupid.
And I'm saying
Okay.
that based on no knowledge. We need to do more research
We
on
need to do
this.
more research. So all
But
we
at least
can
we're posting
see-
every Tuesday. That's all.
Yeah,
that
we're very
matters.
consistent. But all we can see
Yeah.
is number of downloads. And like we've talked about this too. I don't personally, I've never downloaded a podcast. I just listen to it. Like I don't ever download it. So
We don't
like,
even know
there's
how to
probably-
download a podcast.
I don't
Even
know
though
how.
I think I do. Anyway.
I can't. I think I do, and I know I'm gonna have like cell phone service. But I'm like,
Yeah.
but like I'm like, okay, why are they only telling us downloads? They tell us how many people are listening. Whatever, doesn't matter. So it's kind of hard for us to gauge. And it's like when we're recording the pod, it just feels like Michelle and I are having a conversation, and I forget people are actually listening, which is
Yeah,
so
and
crazy.
then I black out. I have no idea what we're saying. Like sometimes people will
same.
reference something. I'm like, we talked about that?
Yeah, I'm like
It's
my
kind
God.
of scary.
So
Anyway.
shout out to user Juan Jose. That's his Instagram name.
Hell yeah.
He came to the shakeout run and he was a vibe. And we got to the coffee shop and he goes, I can't remember if he said he likes the podcast first. Maybe he did, or maybe not. But he came up to me and he goes, oh, where's Jordan? And then he goes, did he have his midnight banana last night? And I was like, oh my God, we have inside jokes.
Bangers.
Bangers. I was like,
Hashtag
shut
midnight
the
banana.
fuck
Does
up.
Jordan even know about that joke?
He does now. I think
Okay, good.
I forget why. I think I was listening to our episode like in the shower and he was like in the bathroom getting ready or something. And I said, like, was talking about him and his banana. And he's like, oh my God. But like, I'm
It's
like,
this is how I'm known.
he's like, that's midnight banana. And like, here's the thing in the Airbnb, it was a 3-bedroom Airbnb. And so Becca and Mitch took the first floor, like master. And then there were 2 rooms upstairs. And so Jordan and I took one of those rooms and they were like, it was like a weird setup, but it was like 2 full-size beds right next to each other. But like not like one big bed. So I was like, obviously we're sleeping in separate beds so we can like sprawl out. But his bed was so fucking squeaky and he kept snoring because the air was dry. He doesn't snore ever. But I was like, I can't deal with this. So I went into the other room. Like we
There you
slept in
go.
separate rooms. And like, so I don't even know if he had his midnight banana, to be honest. Anyway,
Did he have one in the room just in case?
We did
like,
bring some.
He
I
has to
brought
be
a few
equipped
for
at
him.
all times.
yeah, he was
Okay,
equipped.
good.
Don't worry. It was like
All right.
rotting. It was like
Just making sure.
So anyway, that was so cool though, and I was like, oh my god, shut up.
Huge shout out. He's
Like
funny.
2 other
on
people said
Instagram.
stuff. He is funny. 2 other people said stuff about the podcast. One of them, I was like on the course, on the run, and this girl was like, I love the pod. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, you're gonna make me cry. My God. Anyway, so
Literally makes our day every
it
time.
literally, I was so excited. I was like, that is
It made my
so
weekend.
cool. Yeah. I was telling Michelle all about it. But yeah. So shakeout run, and then the rest of the day was just like checking in,
Meeting.
pro meeting. But it's like kind of chaotic because it's, first of all, it's 95. It's sunny. It's hot. I'm like running around, and then everything's outside, like check in and all that. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I get there, I like go back, shower after the shakeout run, then go back to check in because I haven't checked in yet, which like that's easy. You just like whatever, give them your thing and then they give you your bib. But then I wanted to get a sandwich before the pro meeting, and I'm
Jimmy
like
John's?
running. No, there's this bakery called Farmstead. That's the same place we had the coffee after the run. It's
Oh,
really good.
Farmstead. Yeah. Shout out. You love that place.
Shout out. I love that place. And so I was like running back and forth, and then like trying to get my sandwich, then trying to get to the pro meeting on time, which is like all the way down the fucking street. And then like meanwhile, and then I feel so bad because people are like, not to sound like, it sounds so conceited, but people are like, oh my God, LA triathlete. And then like stopping to talk, which is amazing. And I'm
Like
so
all you
excited
want to
like,
do is talk, I'm sure.
yeah. And I'm like,
like,
I do
ugh.
really want to talk. And I'm trying not to, I'm like, I really got to go. I am so sorry. I'm like, I'm going to be late. So it's just like sprinting around and like sweating. And then
What the heck is a pro meeting though? In my head, you guys all go in a room and are like, all right, guys,
pumping
these
each
are
other
the
up.
Pros. These are the pros. And then there's like, what is it? What do you
we're
do?
like in a huddle. You sit in
Go
like
around
this
like
one was
that.
nice because it was inside of an air conditioned room, like theater. But basically, they
like
just
at a minimum. Come on.
they're kind of not stupid, but excuse me, for me they're dumb because I'm like in like last, so I don't need to know all the things that the front pack people need to know. But basically, they just like go in depth about the course. So like someone talks about the swim, someone talks about the bike, but then it stresses me out more because they'll be like at mile 3.5 on the bike, there's some gravel on the road. Okay, we're working to get that sweeped up before the race tomorrow. And then they're like, at mile 5, like there's some like concrete we tried to like that's a little bumpy, and then like they just go into like such detail, and I'm like, I cannot remember any of this. And then
Do you
they
take
make
notes? Or do
like
some people?
might, some people probably do, especially like
We need to get
if
you
there's
an
like
assistant.
a confusing, but there's like so like Ironman is so good at like marking courses and like coning, like putting cones down, and like you just, it's really really hard to like mess it up. But the way they talk about it in the pro meeting, you're like, I'm gonna die and I'm gonna get lost, and then you forget everything they say, and it's so stressful. And then when you get out on the course, you're like, I didn't need to know all that. But again, if you're in like first place, like on the bike, like you might need to know some certain things. So anyway, for me,
So-
it's
yeah, okay.
not really relevant, but whatever. But they talk about it, and it's just like kind of the same thing every time, but it takes like an hour, and it's just like always like right in the middle of the day. So that'll be like nice when I'm not a pro anymore, so I don't have to do that. It's fine. I guess it's kind of interesting, and sometimes they have intel that like
I feel like I'd feel badass being there. Be like, yeah,
it is
I'm
pretty badass because you
one of
walk
the
in and you're
pros.
like literally everyone that you admire,
the best athletes.
literally like Paula Finley was in there, and I'm like Chelsea Sodero, and I was like, oh my God, like trying to be cool because like I guess I belong there too, but also like
You
I'm trying
do.
not to fan girl. I'm like, holy shit.
Pretty sure people are fangirling over you too.
Oh my God. Not the pros.
Like, it's LA triathlete.
They're like, that girl's so annoying. I'm just kidding.
No.
It's fun though, and it's like a good opportunity to like, because I'm friends with most of the pro women, and like it's like cool to like see everyone because we're all gathered, and it's like so fun to see everyone again if I hadn't seen them already.
Cute.
Cute. Did that, and then had to check my runs. You have to like check your run gear in the day before because it's a 2-point transition.
So much admin. Yeah.
Yeah, literally the most admin because like you are not coming back to your run stuff until the race. So you have to like make sure you've got everything in there, which is very stressful to think about. So all your gels and stuff are like in transition, just baking in the hot sun.
Oh
all
God.
day.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's fine. Like they were fine, but I
A
had
hot Morton? I don't know.
yeah, I had the SIS. It slid down the gullet real
Yeah,
easy.
little sis.
Just-
Thanks, sis.
Yeah. And I had my hand bottle because I don't normally do half Ironmans with it, but I was like, I need it. I need extra, like, so I had it empty with one of my packets of like the electrolyte, just like ready to go.
Oh. Oh.
So then at
So
the
you
aid
could fill
station,
it
I could,
up.
exactly. Because I was like, I don't want like
Nice.
hot water in it. I don't know.
Strategic.
So strategic.
Are you
And
ever
then
scared of them losing your stuff at transition? Like, or can you check where it's put
some tea
before the race starts? Okay.
So, well, you can't
pour it
for
up.
this one because you're not going back to your run stuff at all until you're in the race. So, I mean, technically you leave it, you know, like especially in the pro corrals, there's like a name tag plate thing hanging, you know, where your stuff goes. And then there's a little bucket and you put your stuff in and you can like close the lid. And like technically anyone could sabotage you and just like take your shoes or like move your stuff. And then by the time you get there during the race, I am certain that's happened before. Like someone probably came in
That's
on
so
T2 from their bike and they're like, where are my running shoes? You know what? Someone I follow on Instagram, it might be this girl, Kelly. She lives in London or somewhere in the UK. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she had to run a full Ironman in her mom's shoes.
What do you mean her mom's shoes?
She came into transition and her shoes were gone. And so she didn't know what to do. She can't run barefoot. So I think that's what happened. I need to like look at her account, but I think that her mom just like gave her like gym shoes. Can you imagine?
Shut.
You like train in a specific shoe. And she got like injured,
especially
I think.
if it's like a carbon or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
She
course
got, like,
you're going to get injured.
knee or hip problems because she's running in like shoes that aren't even hers.
Running in like Skechers.
I wouldn't. I'd just be like, I'm not doing this run. Fuck running.
Some
I'm
kegs.
done. So that can happen. I forget. I need to look at her Instagram. Anyway, T. But on race morning, though, that reminds me when we were so check the running stuff in, and then you have to go all the way to the lake where the swim is. Check your bike in. That's all you have to check in because like you're gonna be back at your bike in the morning. But anyway, when we were in transition in the morning, some girl like in the pro part of transition, one of the officials was walking around and was like, we can't find, I can't remember what bib number she was. They couldn't find her shoes or her helmet because I guess she left them in there. Like you could leave stuff in there the night before. And I don't know what happened because I'm pretty sure she raced. Like I remember seeing her bike at the end and her shoes were like clipped into her pedals. So I was like, she must have found her shoes. But I'm like, what do you do? Like you could probably borrow a helmet, but like bike shoes are also pretty like
Do you have to
particular.
wear them in?
Yeah.
Or can you like get a new pair the day before?
No, they hurt. Like breaking in cycling shoes hurts a lot.
Oh, because they're
like
stiff,
tighter.
huh?
They're stiff, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Peloton
I'm like,
knowledge.
the stress. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm a little stressed out thinking about that.
that was not good.
Thank-
but I guess they
Thank
found
you for
them.
that.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Thank God.
But yeah, then the rest of the day, just like went back to the Airbnb and then chilled and then went to dinner and got the biggest fucking plate of spaghetti. I was looking
Okay,
at
I was
the
gonna
menu.
ask.
Okay, so I like looked it up and I was like, why is it so fucking expensive? It was like $25 for a plate of spaghetti. That's
It's like
insane.
a family of 4.
Literally, I was like, this one
mean-
plate of spaghetti could feed a Mormon family, like of 10 kids,
Like a
8.
small Mormon family or like a normal sized Mormon
Probably
family?
just like a small Mormon family, like 4. And then Jordan couldn't come because he was still working because he was like on LA hours and he had like a deadline, so he just like stayed back at the Airbnb. And he's like, "Can you order me a carbonara like to go?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I like regretted it because I was like, he could have just ate the rest of the spaghetti, and it wouldn't have been like $80 for.
Yeah, but when you're craving carbonara
That's
and
true.
you
It
get
wasn't even
spaghetti
good.
and
No, it wasn't
Tea.
good. He said my carbonara is better, and I'm not even a good cook. Which, like, I'm not gonna lie,
Aw.
like my carbonara is kind of fire. I
what's
won't
in
lie.
a carbonara?
It's literally just, and that's
Like
why
egg
it's so hard to
yolk?
mess. Yeah, it's like hard to mess up. It's pasta, obviously, and then I have 4. It's 4 eggs. 2 is just yolks, and then 2
Okay.
full eggs, and then
Can't
you
believe I
whisk
knew
that
that.
with hella Parmesan cheese and pepper. Whisk that bitch together, and then once the pasta's like cooked, you like pour it into a bowl, and then mix in the egg yolk mixture really quickly.
Like super fast.
Super
Wow, you're
fast.
such a chef. That's
But,
honestly
like-
really impressive.
Thank you so much. Honestly, mine's so good, but this one was like pretty flavorless, and then like it was really soupy, and it was $80 for like my whole
for the
check.
carbonara.
No, for both, for the whole check. But I'm like,
were you getting like a ton of drinks?
no, it was just for like 2 dishes, and then like I guess I got an appetizer. But I was like, that's expensive. And then like the spaghetti wasn't good either,
Calamari?
and I was like, how do you mess up spaghetti? Mozzarella
Didn't we talk
sticks.
about calamari purees? Okay, mozzarella
Yeah.
sticks. Classic.
Yeah, so good. Anyway,
Love. Okay, so
Came
she's
home.
carved up.
carved up, came home, went to bed. I was in bed before 8. I fell asleep before 9 and slept the whole night.
Shut up.
I know.
That never happens.
That never happens, and obviously didn't translate because it was a terrible fucking race. But I was like, everything is going so perfect, and then I got to the race, and I was like, I'm
Don't
gonna
you
kill
hate
myself.
when that happens?
Yeah,
It's like everything's too perfect. You're like, this is suspicious.
yeah. I was like, it's going a little too well. But like, okay, real talk, guys.
Okay.
Everybody listening. Sometimes I feel like people are gonna relate to this. I feel bad saying it, but first of all, I haven't raced at half Ironman in over a year because St. George was a year and a week ago. And then I did a triathlon in July, like a shorter one, but like I hadn't raced since then, right? And so there was definitely some like dread. I was kind of dreading the race and I couldn't explain why. Isn't that crazy?
Interesting.
Like that's so not like me. And I think part of it was like, it was definitely nerves just because I hadn't done it in so long, and partly like weather.
Yeah.
And then just like the fear of like failure, because I just feel like I haven't been. I mean, last year I only did 2 races, and both the courses I did are pretty hard. Like Oceanside's a lot of climbing on the bike. St. George is obviously hard. And those are the only 2 I did. Didn't have a great, like didn't PR. And like I'll do faster races the rest of the season. But I was just like, you know, I've been training pretty well. I'm like, I better fucking kill it. I don't know. But I was just kind of like really excited for it to be over, which I was like, that's probably not a good mental space to have. But I don't know.
I feel like that's super relatable.
Okay, good.
I feel like most races I'm excited. Like,
just like,
even
it
though
just
I
wants to be
want to
done.
be excited to do it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I think I even said that at Boston. Like, I'm just really excited for this race to be over.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's like
so weird.
but then you have like the memories of the course if it went well, and you're looking forward to like the feeling of
Yeah.
happiness and like accomplishment. But then
Exactly.
you also have like the fear of like pre-race, like you don't know how you're going to do. And you have like all
Yeah.
this pressure. Also, unlike a lot of people, you have a lot of eyes on you.
That's the other
You know
thing.
what I mean?
And like, yeah, and you know, everyone like you're gonna be in a lot of people's tracking app, and like it's fine, and like nobody cares how I do. People have told me this a million times. People just say like, "Oh, we love your account because of like you, not because of your results." And I think it's almost more relatable to have a bad race and talk about it. And I'm like, maybe I should just have bad races on purpose so I can see more relatable. I'm just kidding.
Your account's just like failing.
I'm like, guys, I suck. But it is like that. And I got over that a lot. Like in 2022, when I raced Santa Cruz, that was my first pro race. And like, I was so nervous for that one because it was my first big pro. And I had the worst fucking race of my life. That's one where I cramped really bad. But I knew all these people were tracking me, and I was so embarrassed. And I was just like, this is awful. And then after that, I had so many people in my DMs that were like, we don't care. Nobody cares. And then I was like, that is so true, because I track tons of people during races and I've never given a single fuck. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
more relatable when they fail.
It's more
You're just like,
relatable.
oh, other people have bad races. Thank God.
Exactly.
I felt crazy.
Exactly. And if it's like one of my friends that does really well, I'm excited for them. But if someone does really poorly, I'm not like, huh, that's embarrassing. I'm just like, oh, they had a bad day. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine thinking like that?
No, I
That'd
know.
be
I'm
insane.
like, I don't think anyone really does, but I'm sure there are people who do. And like, those are losers. So if any of you are listening, screw you.
Get out.
Just kidding. Get out. But yeah, so it was just, you're right though. It's like a mix of like excitement. Like I was excited. Don't get me wrong. It's a great course, whatever. But like a mix of excitement and dread. It was like 50% excitement, 50% dread.
I think that's a fair ratio. I think
yeah,
it's fair.
ratio.
And also, you didn't even know. Well, I think we knew you were going to get into this race, but the build up to this race, if like you're a new listener, this was kind of a dramatic build up. We didn't know if Carolyn was going to get in.
That's true. Yeah, I was on the wait list, right? So my coach had me. I mean, I had this feeling I would get in, but like I didn't even know I was in the race till like 4 weeks ago. And like my coach had me training it. Like that's the other thing my coach said. He was making me feel so much better yesterday. I was like texting him, and he's like, honestly, like
what did
it was
he
kind
say?
of. Oh, he was so sweet. He was like, I'm so happy with your run. And then I was like, my bike like sucked. We'll talk about it.
We didn't give any details about the race
I
so
know.
far, but yeah, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
But keep going.
Getting ahead of myself. But yeah, he was just like, you know, your buildup was kind of weird with the marathon, and then also like not knowing if you were even going to race. And so he's just like, next one will be better. And I was like, you're right.
Totally. And you had a full and a half marathon PR this year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you've already accomplished so much this year.
I know. I'm like,
But
not
alas.
even mad. So
Okay, good. You're like, I'll take the other 2 PRs right now.
yeah, sorry guys. I'll PR my half eventually, but half Ironman. But yeah, and then so yeah, race day, I was just like, I was nervous, but not. It was good though. Everything like the morning went smooth. Had a great poop in the morning, which is always
love. Right when you woke up or
love.
post coffee?
like post coffee.
My mom hates this segment. She's like, do you guys really
sorry.
have to talk about the poop part?
We do.
No, but this is essential because
This
if
is
you didn't
essential,
poop-
guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Michelle's mom, come on. So got to the race, blah, blah, blah. Like got everything set up, put the wetsuit on. And then this one is so for the pros. Okay, so for a standard Ironman race, you line up based on the time you think you're going to go, which is nice because you're kind of around people that are the same speed. And then for this race, what they normally do for the age groupers is it's like a starting shoot. And I think they'll line like 4 people up at a time. And then they'll send them off to run into the water. And they start them every like 3 seconds. So you're not all like, it's really nice. It's just like little waves of people.
How far is the run into the water?
For the age groupers, it was like, yeah, like 10 yards maybe. But for the pros, what they do so some races, they have you start in the water, which I like. And I think that's an advantage for good swimmers because you have no momentum.
You can get
just
the momentum
start
faster.
Exactly. And
I'd fucking drown.
yeah, I love it. I'm like, let's go. And then you can kind of spread out. But then this race, it's also a run and start for the pros, but it's shorter. You're like already kind of, your like toe is like at the edge of the water. And then there's a boat ramp you like run down. Like you're already like kind of in the water. I'm so bad at like running in. So I like lined up. I mean, we were pretty spread out. And it was kind of like single file, but then some girl like kind of squeezed in. Another girl was like behind me. And I was like, can you guys get away from me? So we like
You're
run
like,
in.
Do you not know I'm a strong swimmer? Like,
Which I just don't have like the confidence to like, I don't know. I know I'm a good swimmer or whatever. So we like run in and I get stuck behind everyone. Like every fucking, and I'm like, it was so, I feel like I was drowned. My heart rate was so high because I like never panic in the water.
how did you
And, like,
know?
I didn't really panic.
Do you look at your
but
watch when you're swimming?
I just could feel it. I was like, oh, my heart is racing. And like, I don't know. I never like panic in the water. I didn't panic, but I was like kind of panicked because I was like caught.
I didn't panic, but I was
behind,
full panicking.
like not panic attack, but like panicking. And I was caught behind like like the whole fucking wall of women, like right in the middle. So I couldn't get around. And like, I was trying to swim faster than some of them and everyone's splashing and kicking. And I'm like, oh my God. So I like kind of had to swim around them and then went out to the side. Not like too far, but then I was like out to the side. And my swim like wasn't that good. I was like 17th pro woman out of like, I think there were 33 that started, which is like, I could be faster than that. So,
but you were
I was a
stuck
little
behind a
disappointed.
wall. What are you supposed to do in
Yeah.
that situation? Is there any other option?
Like you could be more aggressive and like swim through them, but I'm like not. Like these are my friends. I'm like, I don't need to like kick anyone in the face. And so it's fine. Like
hard.
I honestly don't even really know if that added that much time to my time or I just had like a bad swim, but it was like a minute-ish slower than I should have gone, which my swim is always like kind of in the same, but it just, and then I felt like I was swimming too far to the left because I was trying to stay away from people. I don't know. It was a whole thing. So yeah, so
hate
swam. Other than that, uneventful. Got out of the water, looked at my watch, and I was like, "Ugh, okay, whatever." Ran to get on my bike, and then, so this is such a hard course. So you like come out of the lake and you go. It's like kind of flat for a little while, and then you like climb out of the park that we're like the state park, and it's just like so. The first like flat part, I was trying to hold the power I wanted to hold, and I was like, why do I feel like I'm gonna fucking die? Like my legs hurt so bad. Like my hamstring was like hurting, not like injured, just like
Really?
I don't know what was going on. I was like, okay, what's like happening? I'm not even like putting that much power down, but I was like,
How
kind
was
of
the
holding...
bike holding up? Because you had just done a tune-up.
Oh,
the
great.
bike and what was the weather?
This was
Okay,
all
good.
me, not the bike. Yeah, bike was. It was just the motor of the bike, which is me, that wasn't doing well. But yeah, weather so far wasn't bad. It wasn't hot yet. I was still wet from the swim, so I felt good. And then the climb out of Sand Hollow, I was like, ugh, I just like, I don't know. I felt flat, kind of. I just was like, why? Like when I'm good at climbing, like when I'm out in the mountains here, I'm like, I can just like get into a little
Living your best
groove.
life.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me right now? And so I'm climbing out, blah, blah, blah. And then I like blacked out the rest of the bike course. That's not true. But I was just like,
I don't know.
I
how
don't
you
know.
Did that.
I was getting passed by all the other pro women, which is like standard, whatever. So that was kind of discouraging. And then I was like, maybe I'm not in last though. And I was like, maybe not. But then a couple other pros did pass me. I think all of the pro women had passed me by like mile 20. And I knew I was in last. And I was like, and like one of my friends passed me and I was like, maybe I can like kind of try to not like you can't draft, but like keep her in my field of vision. Try
Is
to keep up with
drafting
her.
illegal?
It is. Yeah. You have to keep 6 bike lanes
didn't know
between
that.
you. And that's the rule. But like,
What if you're passing?
So you can pass. but you have like a certain amount of time that you're allowed to make the pass. There's like all these rules. Like you have
Shut
30 seconds.
up.
Once you've pulled out, you have 30 seconds to make the pass. And so for pros, we have something called a race ranger. It's a new
Okay.
technology. It's actually kind of cool. They put it on, there's one on the back of your bike, and then they stick one little thing to the front of your bike. So when a pro is in front of you, there's 3 different colors that light up on their race ranger. So on the back of their bike, there's like a little
What?
sensor. So if it's red or I can't remember the colors, red, it's flashing red. That means you're too close. So you have to slow down, which like, again, they're all so fast. It doesn't matter. They just fucking pass me so fast. I'm like, ugh. But then if they're blue, I think that means you're in a safe zone, but you're still maybe a little too close. And then like orange means you're good.
That's
Isn't that
crazy
crazy?
technology.
It's so
Also,
cool.
why would orange be your good?
That's literally what Beck and I were complaining about at the pro meeting. She's like, they should make it like green or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
orange is so close
Like
to
a
red.
stoplight?
No, literally, we don't.
What if you're
That's-
colorblind?
I know, guys. Race Ranger, listen up. We
Listen
I'm
up.
like, there has to be a reason, but it's
Anyway,
anyway.
maybe it's
so,
because of colorblind things. Who knows?
oh, that's true. It's like ADA compliant or whatever.
I'm sure it
Marketing
has
things.
to be, right? Anywho.
That is
Okay, that's fascinating though. When did you
Yeah.
how the hell I was thinking about this. Also, my mom, I forget if I sent you the text my mom sent. Did I
I
send
don't
it to
know.
you?
I don't know.
She was just like, she's like, yeah, I saw on Instagram Carolyn didn't have the race she wanted, but like, holy crap. To be out there for that long and to like
Yeah.
get it done. Like, how did you finish the bike when you knew from the beginning it just wasn't clicking the way you wanted it to?
My mental. Okay, that is such a good question. And like
Without
that's the
music.
other thing. Right, no music, nothing. Just vibes. Bad vibes.
Just vibes.
So like
Some
that's the thing
vibes.
too, is my bike time was so fucking bad for me. And like, and then even Becca's really the girl I stay with. She's so good on the bike. And like, she knew I had a bad bike, but she's like, I mean, to be out there that long. And I was like, rude, but also like true. Because it's like the longer you're out there, the more you're in the heat, the more it sucks. So anyway, so yeah.
100%. That's why a slow marathon is even more impressive sometimes.
Exactly.
the
Like
time.
you're
I'm
out
just like,
in these streets.
You have to endure the conditions longer.
Yeah.
Anywho.
especially in that heat. So
Mhm.
yeah, I got past, like I said, like the like other last pro woman, passed me at like mile 20, and I was like, this is so discouraging. I just like couldn't do it. I'm like, I still don't know why. I'm still frustrated. We'll talk about it. But I was just like, whatever, like I'm just gonna do my own thing now. And so this course is hard because you just can't get into a rhythm. It's just like a couple of sections are flat, but it's just like climbing, descending, climbing, descending, and you're like,
No
I just-
breaks.
literally no breaks. And it's just a lot. And there's actually on the flat sections, I will say I felt really good.
Okay.
So I was like, I guess that's promising for like flat, but when I do like a flat race, but I was just hard. I was just tired. And then like I was good about fueling though. Like I had so much
Okay.
sodium in my bottles, and then I had chews and like gels, and I was like very good about that. And then the last climb, so at mile 40 is Snow Canyon. And that's like the most famous part. You're literally in the canyon. It's 4-mile climb. It sucks. It's like known, but it's beautiful. It's so pretty. But it's just a long, steady climb. But there is one when you're getting towards the end, it like goes up to like 10%. So my Garmin shows me like the grade. And I was like, so at this section, I literally was like, it's like a desert. It's beautiful. Like desert landscape, little like bushes and shit. And I was like, what if I just crashed on purpose? I was like, what if
Oh,
I
you got
just
one of
threw
those?
myself? Yeah, I was
One
like,
of
what if I
those
just
visions.
like tumbled into these like this thicket here? And I was like, it wouldn't hurt that bad because these plants are pretty, unless there's a cactus.
Yeah, it's
But I
a
was like, these
thicket.
plants look pretty. If I just tip over, and then oh no, I crashed, can't finish the race. Like I was trying to think of any excuse to not do the run. I was like, oh
Isn't
no,
that crazy? Our brains do that.
my brain was fucked up this race, and I was like, I'm not running. I was like, I'm gonna get in. I'm just gonna be like, I can't do it. I was trying to think of any excuse. I'd be like, I could say I'm cramping. I could crash my bike, whatever. So anyway, I get to the top of Snow Canyon. There is an aid station that's just water. So I filled up one of my bottles, like real quick, squeezed it in, and then splashed myself, which felt great.
Did you like cuss out loud? Did you say like mother?
Probably. Honestly, like fuck this shit. And then after that, though, it's just you're like almost done. You have like 10 miles, but it's all descending really fast.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, so you get kind of a break. You fly into town, and like it's literally all downhill. But there's this, so when you get into town, you like come around the bend, and there's always volunteers that are like, slow down. Jordan.
why?
Well, because there's like all these tight turns, and Jordan was getting coffee, and I was like, this is a pro woman, so I was like way like fucking an hour behind. But I guess one of the pro women was coming in too hot and slammed into a barrier and had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
She's okay. She's okay. But Jordan was like, so he was standing in line to get coffee. He heard this like insane noise, looked over and saw like a girl on the ground. And then he's like, this woman was like, medic, and like causing this scene. Not the girl who crashed, but like one of the, like, I don't know, someone who was just like a spectator was like freaking the fuck out. And Jordan's like, she was so over dramatic. And the girl was like, you could tell she was hurt, but he's like, she wasn't like dead. And like this woman was just like, medic, and like screaming. And I'm like, that's crazy. But the girl, she's okay.
Oh my God, terrifying.
I think I saw her Instagram and I don't think she broke any bones. I think she was just a little scraped up. But then I guess after that, they had like,
you need some elbow pads on that thing and knee pads.
know.
I'm telling you, if I ever bike, I'm getting all the pads.
No, seriously. And someone else hit it too. Jordan said another guy after that, like, hit it. Cause it's just like you're coming in so hot and then you have to turn and there's like fences and shit. So thank God she's okay. And I don't know about the other guy who hit it, but.
Did you slow down when you got the warning?
Yeah. I mean, by the time I got there, it had all been cleared up. Cause again, I was so fucking far behind everybody. But there were like volunteers that are like, slow down. But I'm like so cautious. I'm like too cautious. So I was just
would
like,
be too.
let me just, yeah. So, yeah, I got in. And like that descent really helps because it like helps kind of like rest your legs for a minute. Because I mean, I'm still pedaling, but I'm just cruising. And then got in to transition, and I was just like, this sucks. And so I racked my bike. I put my run stuff on. I'm like kind of taking my time, and I'm like, let's just see. Let's just go run.
Yeah,
and see.
Let's just see.
Let's just see. So I start running.
Fuck around and find out.
That's what I was like gonna do. I was like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to finish the race. I was like, no one's making you do
you're being
this.
so nice to yourself in your brain
I know.
now. Instead of like saying you're going to get
nice.
injured in the thickets, you're like, you know what? Maybe just give it a try.
Just give it a try. And I'm like, no one will be mad if you, the only person that'll be mad if you don't finish is you. And like, you don't really care that much. And I was like, that's true. Except I would be mad if I didn't finish. But I get on the run. And like this run course, I think I talked about it in the last podcast. You literally are just coming out uphill. Like you like are uphill, and at this part's kind of steep. You turn, it's less steep, but you're just going uphill for like the entire first like 4 miles, and then you turn around, come back, and then you have to do it again. And just, but I
wait, your paces were great.
Thank you so much. I felt good, and like I keep doing this thing where I want to settle into. I was like settling in at the beginning, like a 7:30 to 8-minute pace, like it was kind of because of the hills, And I was like settling into that pace, but I was like, this is too fast. And my heart is beating. I'm like, I need to slow down, but I like can't. And just like my body wants to run that pace. And so it's like, can I just slow down to like an 8:30? And my body's like, no, it's either you're going to run this fast or you're going to fucking walk, bitch. And I'm just like, what is happening? And so the first loop, I was okay. And I was like getting lapped by the pro women who were in the lead. Or I'm on the first loop. And Jackie Herring, I think she got third. She's got like the cyclist with her, they like ride with the leaders. She flies by and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, she's almost done. And then I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm getting lapped. So then I'm like further down and like more pro women are passing me. I'm like, and they're like almost done. And I'm like just on the first lap. So that kind of sucked, but I was like, whatever. So first lap, I felt okay. There's a couple like steep short hills on the backside. And I was like, I just walked the second one on the first loop because I was like, I cannot go faster even if I'm running. So I might as well walk. I walked all the aid stations.
Your pace didn't even look like you walked, to be honest. I would have no idea.
That's so nice. Well, yeah, I walked to the aid stations, and then like I'm not gonna like they did such a good job of keeping the athletes cool. So they had obviously water, ice at all the aid stations. So I would like put water in my hand bottle, I'd drink water, I'd pour water on my head, and then I'd pour ice down my sports bra. And so I would just do that it was great. And then between aid stations, they'd have little kids with squirt guns squirting people. Adorable.
Those kids were having so much fun. Where did guys put the ice?
They're wearing kits too. So they just put it down the front of their kit.
Oh, true.
But they don't have a sports bra to like hold it. That's the nice thing about
so it goes in their
bra.
Balls?
Probably goes to their balls, which also might feel good.
Cups while on the bike? Is that a stupid question?
Yeah, it's a dumb question.
Are you sure?
Just kidding. No. They have chamois just like.
Chamois?
That's what the padded part's called.
It's called a chamois?
Yeah, chamois. Like chamois cream.
Okay, well, I knew the cream was called that. Anywho,
yeah,
that's not common knowledge.
Oh, sorry. For me. Yeah. Well, in a tri kit, the chamois is a lot thinner. Like a cycling kit that's real big and like comfy, but then you can't run with that.
Like thick.
So The tri-kits are a lot
Yeah,
thinner.
you can't.
It's shorter.
Oh, okay. Because like the chamois is like a diaper, right?
Basically.
Oh,
But in a tri-kit,
okay,
it's
this is
just
very
like a
interesting.
thin little like panty liner almost. It's
Like
like,
a
it just
pad?
isn't doing shit.
A panty liner.
Yeah, it doesn't do shit. Your crotch is gonna hurt. Anyway, but yeah, no, the ice
So lap
probably
two.
goes to their balls. Oh yeah, so come down the downhill. That would feel. Honestly, though, it is nice having it against your chest because I feel like that's like the hottest part of your body.
Oh, totally. Like
your
calms,
core.
it cools you down. Yeah.
I didn't really like. I was hot. I was dying, but also at the same time, and it dries so fast because the air is dry. So you like pour yourself like water all over you, and you're dry like 5 seconds later. But yeah, came down the downhill part of the first lap, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't so bad because I was going downhill, and then turned around to do the second loop, and I was like, this fucking sucks. But I was like, I knew I was gonna finish, and my coach was on the course. He was like riding around on the outside of the course, and he's like, how you doing?
Oh, I
And I
love
was
that
like,
you saw him.
yeah, thank God. And I was like, dude, this sucks. I suck. My bike sucked. And he's like, just relax. He's like, it's hot. Don't worry about it. And I was like, thank God he was so nice because I was like, that actually made me feel better too. That he wasn't like,
It's a good thing to remember.
like you suck.
Can
Go
you
faster.
imagine?
I know, I'd be pissed. No, he was just
So
like,
we'll talk about this later.
yeah, right. No, literally, like that would give me trauma from like swimming days. But he was just so sweet about it. I was like, oh, love you, man. And like that made me feel better. Anyway, yeah. So the second loop definitely walked a little more, like especially on the back half on the like the little every little hill. I was like, I can't. I mean, I ran up the long hill because like people are passing you coming down. Like that's where all the other, and I'm like, I can't walk. Like, well, people can see me.
There's people.
Yeah,
You took a
there's
very
people.
trail running approach to this running course.
Exactly, I did.
Honestly, I like
and
that, this
then
running course.
the backside, I was just like, I don't care anymore. And then was still dumping water on myself. And I was like, this just really sucks. But then I knew I would be hitting the downhill soon and then I'd be done. So I was like, all right, let's do this thing, I guess. So, and then one part you run on a golf course, which is soft.
Oh yeah, we knew
Which-
this. Did a quick hole. A par 5.
People like that, right? People like that. I don't. I'm like, it's too soft that I feel like I'm going to twist my ankle. I'm like, I'd rather run on the concrete. But
No, I get that. Especially like mixing up the surfaces too much.
Yeah.
It kind of is like you get really used to whatever you're running on, and then to like pivot, it's like, oh, I need to adjust my entire body.
No, it sucked. But it was short. Like the golf course part's not that long. And then the whole course, there's like one tree, like on the golf. That's like the only shade there is. I was like, cool. It's like awesome. But yeah, and then just had the downhill section to run. And I just like knew this was just not going to be like, I already knew how bad I sucked. Like my bike was so like, that was probably the second slowest bike I've ever done in all of my years of triathlon. I'm like, that is embarrassing.
No.
It was bad. But I was like, this is going to suck. Like my time, it doesn't even matter what my time is. I know it's like going to be terrible. So I was just like, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Try to smile. And so I was like passing people and they'd be like, LA triathlete. And I'd be like, yeah.
I love that.
And I was like, I'll still make it. I mean, like, I can't just be like mad because that's not fun.
I know.
So I tried to keep the vibes high.
Vibes high requires energy though. I was looking at some of the videos you posted and you're just like high-fiving, and honestly, I give you props because like the mental state you were in of like
It was, yeah.
injury
hard.
committing to, all that stuff. To
Yeah.
then being like, not many people can do that. And it's really difficult to keep the vibes high when you're not feeling good about yourself.
I think I learned, again, throwing it back to Santa Cruz, the worst race of my life. Granted, I was also cramping, so that was part of it. But it was like people were like, LA triathlete. I was just pissed. Like, I just ignored everyone who was cheering for me. But I was just having such a bad day. And I was like, I just need this to be over. And I was embarrassed about my result, just like all of it. And then I was like, the whole race was like traumatic. I'm like, that was horrible looking back on it. And then at Indian Wells the same year, which was like a few months later, I also didn't have a great race. I don't know why. I forget why. I think I was just mad. I don't remember. But I was like, I'm going to turn this around and have fun. And then like the whole day was
Love that.
better. And like looking back, I was like, yeah, Indian Wells is great. Just because I like turned it around in my head. But yeah, it is hard to do when you're like, this is not a good day. But then I was like, I don't know. It's like, might as well just have fun. I don't know. So,
Totally.
totally.
You turned it around. You did what
it around.
you had in you for that day, which
Exactly.
we've talked about this. It freaking
Yeah.
sucks
It
when you
does
just
suck.
don't have it in you that day for some
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Exactly.
Because you're in hella good shape. We know that.
Oh, thank you. You know, and like, I don't even care. Like, I was like, oh, I hope I'm not like mad at myself. Sometimes I get like mad at myself. I'm like, should have done better, whatever. But I was like, I physically could not have gone faster than I was going. So it's like, I know I didn't leave anything out. Like, I was done. So it's like, I really did the best I could do. And I was like, I mean, I could sit here full of regret about the race and like be pissed about it being a bad day. But it's just like, what's the point? Like, I literally couldn't have, like, there's nothing I could have done. I was just like, that was all I had. And it was the weather.
It's
was
like
definitely
you could drop
distractor.
out or give it.
Yeah.
Okay. The weather was insane. I'm
It
sure
was
that like
insane, guys.
played into it to a huge degree that,
Especially like LA gets hot. It was hot here this weekend, but like it wasn't hot before leading up to the race. It was freezing and rainy for like weeks.
how are you supposed to practice that? 100%.
Exactly.
That makes it so much more difficult.
Yeah, like definitely not acclimated to the heat. But yeah, finished the race. I was so happy to be done. My God, I have never been more happy.
Did you cry?
No, I should have cried.
Did you cry today?
No, I haven't cried, guys.
Do you want to cry right now? We can let it out.
So, yeah, guys, that was cross the finish line, and that was the race.
Which okay, so you're not like super crazy sore, as you mentioned in the beginning of this podcast.
Yesterday was my like, it definitely like, hurt to walk around. Not like hurt, it's just tight. Like my calves were tight, my lower back was tight, and my like neck always gets kind of tight after because I'm like from the swim, I think, because you're like looking up a lot, but then also like from being on the bike. I chafed, I mean, in new and exotic places.
I love an exotic chafe. Let's hear it.
So the neck is usually so the neck didn't chafe. The neck always chafes. It
Where's
chafed,
the
like
neck
maybe
chafe?
from the wetsuit.
Like,
on the back of the
like
neck.
where the lining of the
Yeah,
wetsuit
because
is.
you're like looking up.
Okay.
I put so much shit on my neck. It like didn't chafe at all. And then the standard little one right here, like up on the collarbone from my tri-kit. And then a new one though. I'm like, I don't know if Zoo added a new seam in their tri-kits. I've always worn
Crazy
their
how a
tri-kits.
seam can do that to you.
Crazy. So it doesn't hurt during the race. I finished the race and I'm like standing around and I'm like, something fucking hurts. And like my lower back. And then I take the kit off when we get home and Jordan's like, oh my God. So my whole like spine on my lower back chafed in a straight line from like a seam.
Can't believe
and
you
I'm
didn't send me a photo. I'm like a little upset.
I could send you a photo now. It's still gross. It hurt so bad in the shower. I was like screaming and I still don't know. I'm like, I need to compare to my old tri-kit because like there was no tag. I was like, did I leave a tag in? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. New seam though, or
New
not.
seam,
I don't know.
new
It hurts so
problems.
bad. And then a new one
No seam,
that I
no
could.
problems.
There was like one I could feel on the run, and I was like, "This is weird." Where the butt cheek meets the leg. I don't know why.
Okay, so two butt cheeks.
Picture it.
Where the girl had her running belt.
Where the girl had a running throwback.
Yeah, shout out to last episode.
She probably had some chafe from her butt cheeks.
Oh, I bet she had some chafe. Wait, that one is an uncomfortable chafe.
That was interesting. I don't even know how that happened. I think that just like the way the kit kind of like gathered under the cheek. But I was like running and I was like, this is going to hurt later. And it did. And then the legs of the tri-kit, they never, like they're pretty like they have elastic, so they don't really move that much. Yeah. But no matter what, it kind of chafes, like it leaves like a big line. And so I had like a big bloody line on like my legs. I'll show you a picture.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think it's just because it's elastic. And so it just kind of irritates the skin. And it's just like, even if it moves, like moves a little bit. And then, yeah. So.
And I wonder if the
chafed.
dryness played into it too.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we did get a question from Laurel on Instagram. I told her we would ask or answer it this episode. So she just completed an Ironman. Wait. Oh, she
Half
did
or
St.
full?
George too.
Oh, hell yeah.
She did the half. She hollered at you on the course and you smiled back. So that was a major bonus.
Oh my God. Laurel.
But she said her body is super sore, very sore. After any endurance race / event, how do both of you approach recovery if your muscles are very tender and sore? How long do you wait before I laughed at tender too. Why are we like this? How long do you wait before foam rolling massaging, training, etc. Because okay, there's a difference between being tender and being sore. Like when you're tender, what would you say to this? Because I had a very specific response or answer in my head.
That's fair. Because tender feels like more aggressive than just sore. Like tender's right in your head. Is that how you read it?
Totally.
Okay,
like
good.
Tend. Like it's tendy.
Yeah. Like it's like it's so far past sore that it hurts to touch.
Exactly. It's like inflamed a bit.
It's inflamed. So
Some would say.
it's a good question.
The doctors.
Everyone has a different approach. I know some fucking psychos, no offense, who will like go out on their bike the day after just for like an easy spin. Just like, which probably is good to like flush out the legs, but my crotch cannot. I can't. I'm not going to go sit on a bike after. No.
Yeah. What if you want to get pregnant one day?
Exactly. Can you imagine? Oh, so the other thing, I mean, you should move your body a little, maybe go for a walk. I'm saying this to people. I don't practice what I preach. I did nothing. I sat in the car for 6 hours and then I came home and laid on the couch. I did nothing. I walked like 10 steps.
The day after, I feel like is, day
after
give yourself
give yourself some grace. But if you feel like I'd say
like tendy.
A light walk or maybe a swim, like a really short like swim might be good. The day after, again, I didn't even do that. So like whatever. And then today, like 2 days after the race, I'll do. So my coach gave me a swim today and I'm just like, I texted him and I was like, I don't really want to. He's like, that's fine. I was like, I'll go for a walk.
You're like, I don't think so, bro.
Yeah, I was like, no. I just don't have like time to. I was just like, I don't feel like doing it. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. So anyway, 2 days after the race, definitely would recommend getting in a walk or swim or like a really slow ride. And I feel like that's probably also when you could like gently foam roll. I probably wouldn't. Again, it's just as me because I'm a baby, but I probably wouldn't do it the day after the race because that would hurt so bad.
Oh God, no!
You probably
Especially if you're
should.
tendy. I think it's bad if you're tender. Like when you're sore versus
true.
tender.
Yeah,
I don't know. When I'm like tender to the touch, like even like because I agree with the walking part. Like if you can flush out your legs with like a quick walk, like even like 20, 15 minutes, like it's going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
But if you're like really, really, really deathly sore, we're talking like rest is the only thing that's going to help you.
That's so true. Yeah. And if it hurts, like if you're foam rolling and it's tender and it hurts, like don't do it. I mean, obviously foam rolling is going to hurt a little bit, but you can like tell the difference, I think. And then I guess let me see if my coach put my training peaks in because I can just like kind of walk through the rest of the week.
Also, I said Epsom salt. I love an Epsom salt bath.
Yeah.
I still feel like it should be called Epsom salt. I don't know why it's called Epsom salt, but I mean, that's just chemical compound.
Epsom.
I hate that. Don't you hate that?
I don't take baths because I'm grossed out by our bathtub.
Oh my God. I'm a bath girl. I love it. You just give it a quick like wash down before you go in.
That's true. It's really small though, and I'm really tall, and I'm like tits are out or knees are out, both are out. I'm just cold. You know what I mean? I can't fit. Like something's gonna be out of the water, and I'm gonna be.
I know
cranky.
tall people who take baths.
Our old apartment had a nice bigger tub, and we were the first ones to live there, so I was less grossed out by it. So I would take baths there.
Oh,
but I always get really hot. Like,
oh yeah, I mean that's bound to happen. Like, I posted something on Instagram that was super controversial. I like eating in the bathtub.
That's interesting.
You don't like that?
I don't know if I like that.
Anything and everything. Give me dinner.
What if you
like on a platter?
Okay, wait. At the
like
platter,
a glass of
I'm
wine.
kind of into it. Yeah.
When I said platter, you're like, wait a minute.
I was like, hold on.
Like, what kind of
I was
food?
just picturing with like a bag of Cheetos.
Like I'll even drink a hot cup of coffee in the bathtub.
Hot. I'm
preferred
so
ice,
hot.
but like hot. I will just anything and everything. There's something about sitting in hot water and eating a nice meal, like a steak dinner. Just kidding. But just something like popcorn. No, I don't know. Actually, that's not true. Maybe a smoothie is like the ideal.
Okay. That would cool you down.
What's your yeah.
I just
what's your
get
training
so
peaks?
hot.
I'm embarrassed now.
Don't be embarrassed. Tomorrow I have an active recovery run. That's going to be very slow.
Dun, dun, dun.
And also my recovery swim. He moved it. Okay. And then Wednesday is, interesting. Strength training. I'm actually surprised he put that in this week. He like,
do you
I
think
usually
you
just
can do it?
I guess so. We'll see. If I'm too sore, he won't care. And then group ride. Thursday,
On
another
Saturday.
ride. This is Thursday. Yeah, Thursday swim, Friday swim. A lot of recovery,
Damn.
just easy stuff. And then I told him I am planning on doing a crazy fucking ride on Saturday. And I was like, would that make you mad? And he's like, go for it. And then Sunday, because I feel like running is the one that always is like the hardest to come back to. Cycling, it's just, I don't know. It's not as bad. It's not as like, obviously, you're not putting as much, whatever it's
Pounding
called.
on the body.
Yes, exactly. But I really want to hike. I haven't hiked in a while and I can't. It's so hard to hike when you're in season because when the fuck am I supposed to hike? Right?
Girls got to hike.
Girls got to hike. I can't. I never want to hike.
You
after
love to
my
call
long
it your
run.
favorite hobby.
I do love hiking. But the problem is I don't want to go Saturday because I have my ride and I'm tired. And then my legs are going to be sore for my long run Sunday. And then I don't want to go on Sunday after my long run because my legs are going to be tired for my long run. But then my coach is like, yeah, you can hike. I was like, yes.
Oh,
so I might be
so
hiking.
no
I don't
long
know what
run.
hike. Maybe
This
no
is,
long
I feel
run.
like this is a pretty aggressive week after the race, no? Or is this pretty normal for you?
It does feel it's because it's normal. The rides are all like easy, except for the one Saturday, and that was my choice.
If you weren't pro right now, or if you weren't like at your level, would you potentially take more days off or recommend for somebody else to take more days off?
I think like
Like after a marathon, I feel like people mostly
Yeah.
take an entire week off,
that's true.
but obviously it's different.
I think if I like, I think if I told my coach, he would give me a week. If I was like, I think he knows. I just like getting back into it personally.
Yeah.
But I think that if I were like, I am very sore. Like he always texts me to check in too. Before he even made my week, he's like, how's the body? And I was like, kind of sore, but fine. But if I were like, I'm dying, he'd be like, yeah, you can take a week off. Like he's cool like that. But I think if you're very tendy and very
you're
sore,
tend.
yes.
I'm like craving chicken tenders now. Is that weird?
Sounds really good.
I know, right?
I think by the time this comes out, it's going to be Tuesday, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, take Monday, take the day after the race off, take 2 days after the race off, and then by the third day, maybe just see if you can swim her. But there's never like a huge rush unless you have like a race the next month or something and you feel like you need to get back into it. But just do what feels right, I think.
And if you're tend, soak it out, shake it
Epsom
out.
salt, yeah.
Maybe some rice.
In the bathtub.
Rice in the bathtub.
Yeah. Eat your rice in the bathtub while you take your bath.
Rest, ice, compression.
Oh. I thought you meant actual rice, and I was like, is there something I don't know? The healing properties of rice. Long grain.
Rice. Soaking it out. I feel like soaking the starches of rice with your body would do something.
Probably be great. Yeah.
We'll have to look it up.
Oh,
Anyhow.
also another thing, eat a lot.
Yes.
I've been so fucking hungry.
Yes. I
oh
love
my
that
God.
one.
I'm starving right now, and I just had breakfast.
Listen to what your body needs. 100%.
Yeah. As your mom would say. Eat what sounds good.
As your mom would say.
Yeah, she would say that. She
Yeah.
would.
I love that. Oh, also too, we were talking last time so like marathon terminology, it's like you really specify half marathon and full marathon depending on what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I was asking Carolyn, because I posted on Instagram, I'm like, oh, Carolyn's Iron Man. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is this like the same concept of when you talk about racing a half versus full marathon? Can you say, if you're doing a half Ironman, can you just call it an Ironman? Or like what are the people saying there? How judged do you get to call it an Ironman?
This is tough because there are some sticklers about it. And like, not to say that I'm one of them. I'm not, but I kind of, technically you should just call it a half Ironman, which as a non-triathlete, it's okay if you do it. But as a triathlete and you say, oh, I'm doing an Ironman, it is a little misleading because you're not doing an
Okay,
Ironman.
so it's like the
You know what I
marathon
mean?
concept. You don't want to
It's the
say
same
it
thing.
unless you're doing
Yeah.
the distance.
But like if someone says that to me on accident, they're like, oh, my first Ironman. I'm not, because it technically is an Ironman branded race. I'm not going to correct them and be like, actually, but I think that and again, I don't give a fuck. Like do whatever, say whatever the fuck you want. People who care about that, whatever. But the thing that I think causes the most drama in the community, you know how people get Ironman tattoos, like the M dot, which I don't, because I don't have any tattoos and I'm scared. But the T,
If you're gonna get a tattoo, it's gonna be 333 with me.
obviously.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But the Ironman tat, people are mad about that. If you do a half.
Yeah, I think there's been like people, I don't know if this is actually, or maybe I saw it, I don't know, like on Instagram or someone did it. I don't know. People were mad, but like if you got an Ironman tattoo, but you only did a half Ironman, I think people would be really mad about that. Which again, it's your fucking body.
Interesting.
And it's a logo.
Yeah, I mean,
like do whatever the fuck you want. Do a half of
I
an
feel like if
MDOT.
you get a tattoo as a half Ironman athlete, it's like you're more so getting it for the brand of Ironman.
Yeah, you just really love the brand.
Like, totally. You know what's funny? I've like with ultras, once you go over the distance of a marathon, you're doing an ultra. And it doesn't even matter if it's, 50K, 50 miler, 100, 200 miler, it's an ultra, which is so funny how we get so upset when people confuse a half and a full marathon and just say they're doing a marathon or like,
and then ultra.
It's like, why do
like,
we
doesn't
care?
matter.
Yeah. People just don't give a shit after like over a marathon.
But I think that's the reason people do give a shit in triathlon is because it's like a Ironman is twice as much, training. Well, maybe not necessarily twice, but it's like a lot more. So I'm like, I get why people get upset about it, but I'm also like, I don't think that people are purposely saying they're doing an Ironman to like fake you out. I think that they just like don't think about it and they're just like, oh, it's an Ironman branded race. So
yeah, we all need to chill a little bit.
we do. We do, honestly.
What are our next races?
Oh,
let's discuss.
Golly gosh.
Really quick. Golly, is that you trying to cuss less in this episode?
Golly gosh, I did cuss a lot. Can't help it, guys. It's me being in Utah.
Cussed this much in this episode.
Because I was with the Mormons and their
It's the polygamous cults that you drove through for 10 minutes in Arizona.
They probably cuss. Those are they're in the cults, you know what I mean?
They're the country.
You have the regular, the St. George Mormons who are just like nice people, Probably not in polygamous cults. But yeah, no,
I'm sure the polygamous people are nice. Well, the women are.
I think we looked up. He thought on the way in, he was like, "Oh, this is the area where it's like this triangle of Arizona where all the polygamous cults are."
Bermuda Triangle, kind of.
It's like the Bermuda Triangle, but then on the way back, he's like, "Oh, I looked it up, and it was actually something else. It's like a triangle in the Grand Canyon. I don't know what he's talking about."
Interesting. I'd like to get on his TikTok algorithm.
I know, right? My next race.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go to Spain again 2 weeks from yesterday for my friend's wedding. So
oh my God, that's so freaking soon.
Oh, I know. It's a lot to think about. I'm kind of stressed. I have no money. It'll be fun though. I mean, I already bought my flight, obviously, but just a lot going on. I am doing haven't signed up, but I will. An Olympic
Carolyn.
distance. I know. I don't have any money. Olympic distance triathlon on June 22nd in San Diego. That one's really fun.
Okay.
And it's like very low. Like I literally did it one year. I was the only pro woman. So I won. Guys, I took the top step because I was the only one who did it.
Shut up. Can you qualify? Oh, wait, no, this is Olympic. You have to qualify.
Yeah, you technically could. There's all these like specifications about requalifying for your pro card. And one of them has to do with like the amount of money that they offer at the race. And the race doesn't have any money. So I'm like, I won.
What do you win if you win?
Nothing.
A
medal.
shocks.
Like an extra, you don't even want to, there's like no prizes. It's like another medal that's like
compression socks. Yeah. Okay.
And then,
wait, that's going to be fun though.
It is really fun. It's just
I'd
like easy. It's close to LA. And then I might be doing an Olympic in Long Beach in July.
Oh, yes.
Right. We talked about that. They actually DM'd me back today. I need to read it because they wanted to like do a partnership. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
That'd be hella sick.
And then the next big race for me is Santa Cruz 70.3 on September 7th. And I think that one will be a true test of my fitness because it's like a
Santa Cruz.
It's a known fast, like the swim is always a little, I don't know if there's like a current or what, but I had a great swim there last time I did it. I had a decent bike, but that was like years ago. And that's when I cramped was on the run. But the bike, I think I could do well. And then the run is like kind of hard, but like not as hard as it's like a PR course. So,
oh my God. Well, I feel like you'll get some revenge from the last time you did Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
You'll have a different view of it and revenge from this race.
I hope so. Or I'll just suck again.
No,
we'll see.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And you'll have some time off from Spain to like.
That's true.
Kind of like, relax, recover.
That's true. I've got a couple little breaks in there.
I'm looking at a half. Oh my God, I was going to say Ironman. Can you imagine? I'm looking at a half marathon at the end of this month. Actually, I think it's next week. So I don't think I'm going to be doing it.
Oh, what is it?
It's Ottawa, which I was offered a bib from this girl who doesn't think she wants to do it. And I was going to buy it from her. Yeah, it's not this weekend, it's next. But
You should do
it's
it.
just kind of, it's a little difficult. So I don't think I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Why is it
But
difficult?
I really want. Oh, just like logistically.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
2 hours away. And then I have a friend who lives there. Well, like
that's
a
kind of far.
colleague from Dov. So I was going to like text her. But then it's like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of cutting it close to asking to stay with them without planning. So I think I just might do like a local 5 or 10K
Hell yeah.
soonish.
That's exciting.
Slash. Hopefully in the next episode, I will know.
Oh my God. I feel like there's a lot of, well, I don't know about Canada, but I don't know. I feel like here there's always like a 5K or something going on.
There's always something. I know. There's a little bit less here, but there's still like random stuff that I'm just like, screw it. I think in the short term, I'm going to try to get the fastest time. I want the crown in a segment in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So
that's a good
did I
goal.
tell you about that one? Yeah. I'm going to try to steal it from this guy.
The QOM. Oh, you're going
Is
for
it-
the
is it
course
QOM?
record. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's only on a bike, no?
there's Queen of the Mountain, and then there's King of the Mountain, and then there's the course record, which means you beat all the men and the women. So
Yes, I want the course record because
Yeah,
I
the
think I
CR.
can do it.
yeah,
I want the
you can.
CR, baby.
Yeah.
I definitely can because I
Yeah.
think I just have to average under a 6. I mean, anyone could do it. You could do it, which don't come here. Dov can do it. I'm not even telling him the exact segment because I don't want him to take it. But it's like a 6:35 average. I have to be under that for 1.2 miles. And it's like a loop and it's like a
Ooh,
little
you got
hilly.
this.
I know. It's just kind of like, we could do it. But
Are
I
you
have
the
to be,
queen
like,
of the
in right
mountain
mindset.
Now,
I'm the queen
like,
of the mountain. Yes.
for that one, for that court, for that segment.
Of the women.
Yeah, you are. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. But I'm like
Yay.
8th in overall.
Oh yeah, you got to
But
get it.
I don't think anyone has done it full out. I think people just do speed workouts there and then
And then they just happen
accumulatively
to-
it just adds
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Because the guy who has it, he was doing like a 3x3 minute workout. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, he definitely wasn't going full out. But I still want to steal it from him.
No, you
and I
have
will
to
document the process.
That's like my favorite. Like QOM hunting is like it's a fun hobby. When I'm home,
Sick. We're sick.
it's sick. When I'm home
in Ohio.
in Ohio, I will like star segments in my neighborhood and I like go for them. And it's so funny because like the QOM will be from like years ago. I'm like, no one's gonna take, like, there's just not as many people, I guess, running. I don't know. But then I like do that. And then when I'm in Kansas City for work, because I like it's
Do it
in
again.
the suburbs, right? And so there's all these like little segments in the neighborhoods, and I'm just like star that, and then I'm like I'm fucking going
We're
for it.
sick.
It is kind of sick. One
Maybe
time,
I'll get it today.
it just gives you that little. Gets
I
you
know. I
going.
need this. Like I need,
used-
when the day's just
Oh,
going
yeah.
wrong, you're just like, I'm gonna steal someone's time. Don't they get like a notification on
Yeah,
Strava
they
too? Like
do.
someone just stole your this.
It says, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
It's like so condescending. I get those a lot from the, because I like there's a lot more when you ride a bike, you cover more ground, so there's way more segments that you do in a ride, and so I have more QOM cycling, and like it fucking pisses me off. I'll be like checking Strava, and I'm like, this, damn. Some people I know, I won't say who, are so petty. They will go out, like someone takes a QOM from them, they'll go out the next day just to like get the segment back. I'm like, that's insane. But like I've done it. Maybe not the next day, but like
Like it's in the back of your head until you do it.
well, here's the thing. I think this is part of the problem that I'm like not as good on the bike anymore is because in like 2020 or like 2020, 2021, I was like so good on the bike. I was just riding. I wasn't running because there's no triathlons because of COVID. And I got so fast on the bike and I was so competitive. And I would be like going for QOMs all the time. And I was like, some of my best segment times are from then. I had not been able to go as fast. And now I just stopped caring completely. Like if someone takes my QOM on the bike, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just
Oh my
don't
God,
care.
we got to get you to like start
I
stealing.
know.
I
I,
feel
like,
like your
lost
coach would
my
be like,
edge.
steal a QOM today. And you'll be
You
like,
should put it in my
got
training peaks. But yeah,
Yeah. Be a little petty.
I don't know what happened. I just like now I'm just like I don't care.
No.
It's like just Strava.
You have
and
not
then
lost your edge.
I think that's why I'm slower on the bike during the races too. I'm just like when I'm riding out there, I'm not putting in as much pizzazz as I used to. I just don't care anymore.
Dude,
I'm like I need to get
There's
my ass
something
back into
to
it.
that.
There,
Like, I'm making a goal of like making running in the 6s comfortable
Yeah.
because if I can, and then I want to get competitive with little things because that will force me to go faster.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? So like, I want my edge again. Like even though
that's what we lost our edge, guys.
we're getting our edge back.
We're getting our edge back.
2025, we're getting our edge back
Like maybe it's with age.
with everything, with fashion too.
Yeah.
Like do you like my new shirt? I got it from Uniqlo.
I do actually. I was thinking that's very cute.
It reminded me of you.
Love.
Also, it's like a built-in bra.
That is so cute. Wait, where's it from?
Uniqlo.
Oh, it's very cute. Very cute.
Is that how you say that?
I think so.
I feel like you'd love Uniqlo. I don't
That's
know.
good.
Well, you did it, and I'm proud of you.
Oh yeah, I did it. Ugh. Okay, wait, T. Actually, I don't know.
For the podcast?
I could
Or
probably
for me?
yeah, for the podcast. I don't know if
Okay.
I could probably say this. So when there's a guy who works for the city of St. George, and I love him so much. I met him last year at the pro check-in. Because it's like across from City Hall, and like the city loves this race. There's like all their lamps have like Iron Man like banners on them in the streets. They have like M dots painted on the roads permanently.
M
and I'm like,
dots?
why are you? That's the Iron Man logo.
Oh, got
And
it.
it's
I
just
thought you
like-
said M dash, like the
Oh, yeah.
long line that you use
Oh, yeah.
in
I do love
grammatical
an M
spelling.
dash.
I love an N dash. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
carry on.
So they love this race. And I'm like, why are we getting rid of it? You guys fucking love it. Anyway, so we're like
Literally.
in there for the pro meeting this year, and that guy is there again. And he's like, how are you? And I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm so sad they're getting rid of it. And he works for the city. And he goes, well, we're working on it. And he goes, we just need a little bit of a break. So guys, I don't know. Am I allowed to say that? Probably. I mean, it wasn't a secret. He wasn't like,
Whatever. He wasn't like, you didn't have to sign an NDA.
no. And he was like saying it kind of loud. And I think everyone keeps saying that it's probably going to come back. But I was just like, thank God, even though it literally had the most traumatic race of my life. But
But you
it's
love
like,
it.
It's like an abusive relationship, because last year also sucked. I mean, I did well on the run, but I was like, this is the hardest course ever. And I'm like, I was in so much pain. I was so mad the whole race. And I was just like, I want to fucking do it again. Keep coming back.
I did this video a while back, and it was like elapsed time that has happened since the race and your perceived
Oh, I love
like
that.
thoughts on the race. It's like you
No,
kind
it's
of
so
like
true.
black out, forget, and then you're like, oh, I have to do it again.
Yeah.
I'll post it
It's
on
so weird.
stories.
Like during the race, I'm like, I'm quitting. Like
Yeah,
the whole
you're
sport.
like, I'm never doing this again. And then you're just
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I think it wasn't that bad. I
Yeah.
want to do it again.
It's like the hormones. Like it's like childbirth. People are like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But like obviously, like while you're giving birth to the child, you're like, that's fucking sucks. And then after you,
Totally.
you know, have birth the child, you're like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think that's the
Yeah,
same thing.
because the
It's
hormones.
same hormones.
And like bad
Yeah.
dreams. No, that doesn't
yeah.
apply.
No.
You just don't even remember them.
Oh yeah. I just don't remember any of my dreams. That's not true.
You don't remember any of your
I
dreams?
did have a dream actually the night,
Okay.
2 nights before the race. Like maybe this was a sign. Just kidding. But I had a dream that I was on the bike course and I got so lost and somehow ended back like only like 10 miles in, and somehow ended back at the lake. Like I just like took a bunch of, which is impossible. There's like one road out of there. But I was like, I took a bunch of wrong turns and ended like back up at the lake at the
Oh
start
my
of
God,
the
that's
race.
like
I was
such a
like-
nightmare. I hate that.
I woke up
Anxiety
and I was
dream.
pissed. It was very much an anxiety dream. So
I
that
hate
didn't happen. Very well marked course. That's pretty hard to get lost.
Even though we will find a way to get lost in a race or take the wrong
That's
turn.
true. I
Shout
mean,
out to our first episode.
Yeah.
We're
did that
like, do we
during
turn here
Oceanside.
or here? And then we just go against the marked course. We're like, this feels right. So, you know, thank you guys so much for
Yeah,
your
thank you
support.
guys.
Everyone who
Love-
reached out
Yeah, that's so sweet. Love hearing about people in the wild, listeners in the wild.
in the wild.
In the wild. Love you guys.
We love you in the
Um,
wild.
I just
We need to link up a script that's like
know.
exact, like a way to close it out is so perfect. Going Off Course podcast, Going Off Course pod on Instagram, I think. If you type
going
it in,
off
you'll
course
find it.
pod.
Going
yeah,
Off Course
Going Off Course
podcast
pod.
at gmail.com.
Yep. That's our email. So if you have questions, email us, slide in the DMs. We need to be better about
It goes
posting on
down in the
Instagram.
DMs.
It goes
know
in
we
the
do.
DMs.
5-star on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, because then you'll be entered in to win
Oh,
whenever
yeah,
we do
have
that again.
34.
Maybe we'll do it with Shocks again,
I like
because
that idea. Yeah.
I'm now talking to them and
She's in the DMs.
we're in the DMs.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will see you
Next
next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.